The worst thing that I saw happen to a sex offender was this rapist piece of shit, Daniel Tilson. He is scum of the earth. I mean, he's a rapist, so there's not much more that needs to be said. However, what he would do is like talk about it behind the cell. For some reason, he thought he was safe. He didn't understand the way it worked in Florida. He would try to get people screaming and yelling, and some people really weren't able to control their emotions. They were really weak. They let somebody behind a cell control, like the puppet master. He'd be like, "Oh, I'd rape her, I'd rape it, blah, blah, blah." Their moms, their family members, just to get it going. But see, in Florida, protective custody isn't a real thing. You know, they have protective management where, say, you got beat up or stabbed, or someone called in, or you purposely got on the phone and said something and, to get yourself away. But all they do is torture you while you're in your little isolation cell and ship you to another compound where you start over again. No more solitary. And he was playing that cell warrior game, thinking that he was going to have his own cell. The more he pissed people off, the more enemies he made. But he was wrong. A lot of times he'll accidentally open the cell door or, make mistakes. This one was different. So he ended up getting a cellmate. And this dude had 6 months left to go. His name was Damien. Damien is a cold, calculated dude. And he would not give a fuck. Like, it didn't matter if he went home tomorrow or they were sending him to Mars. He'd be the same way every day. So they tell the rapist piece of shit who was in there for raping 4 women that, hey, you have a celly. He goes home in such and such days, a short timer. And he starts freaking out. No, no, no. I'm in confinement just watching this because the way it's set up, picture a butterfly. On one side, you have like the controlled custody, high custody unit. Other side is disciplinary units. Then you have like the protective management wing mixed in with the administrative confinement where they're just trying to figure out where they're going to send them or put them back on the compound. And, that's the danger, is that all the killers, all the worst of the worst are all put in one area together. And the COs have full reign over everything. It's insane back there. And whatever organization is running the show is able to make things happen. Because at the end of the day, the COs work for the inmates. And, this dude was writing up officers any chance he got. I mean, he was really taking it too far. I mean, you're already a rapist. You're not going to make it home. They're already poisoning your food. You're already just going through hell. But he thinks the more enemies he creates, the more safety he will have. It's this weird thing these out-of-towners have when they come to Florida. Now, the rumor was Damien knew one of the victims that he raped. It was a close member. It was a female that he grew up with. And he didn't give a fuck if he went home in 5 minutes. So dude's freaking out. Finally, Damon kind of like rocks him to sleep and says, "Listen, bro, I go home. I don't give a fuck what you did. I'm trying to just get fucked up." And the rapist was like, "Oh yeah?" He knew his weakness. See, in prison, one little weakness, whether it's gambling, cigarettes, whatever it may be, someone becomes the puppet master. It's the law 11 of the 48 laws of power. Make them dependent on you. Revenge or power is always sustained when others are dependent on you and your resources. Damien's a killer. And, rumor was that he wanted to get all this on video and send it to whoever wanted to see it. I didn't see any of that. What I heard and what I saw happen after confirmed that rapist didn't make it. See, just like they say, anything you say will be used against you in the court of law, any weakness you have in prison will be used against you in the court of prison. So first, he started getting high with him. He didn't think nothing of it. He liked it. He's like, "Oh shit, this is cool." Calmed him down. A day or so went by. He said, "Hey, you want to hit this bag?" It was a white substance. He was going to put it through his nose. And he goes, "Here, let's hit it." And from what I was told from people that were watching, Damien had the cell phone out, filming the whole thing as he's screaming, what the fuck? Damien looked at him and said, oh, it's over for you, bro. Now, they said he was live streaming it to the victim that this piece of shit rapist raped. I don't know what he put in it, but they say the dude was flopping like a fish. Damon watched him die. They say he turned off the phone. Whatever they did, however they FaceTimed it allegedly, flushed that motherfucker down the toilet. Said he made sure he was dead. They said basically he took out a razor and this graphic and slit him from ear to ear. Flushed that down the toilet. You only get 3 flushes back there. Washed his hands, went to sleep. The CO's come and he says, hey man, this motherfucker snapped. He got on some dope, went crazy. I had to defend myself. We see them come in there and they turn the cell into a crime scene. There's blood everywhere. It's dark. You can smell the iron. And it is just brutal. This is back in the Chipley 5 days. And I'm going to go over that real soon with y'all. Y'all going to be mind blown when you see what I went through. 5 officers from the warden down to the sergeants that were all arrested for organized crime. Yeah, it was going down like that. They had hit squads running the yards. It got so crazy that one of the officers killed themselves because he couldn't handle the federal penitentiary and the sentence he was facing. Isn't that ironic? Anyway, you see him pick him up. They like fold him over like they do. They don't give a fuck. And dude is just gone, blue, stiff, dead. They put Damien in cuffs and everyone's cheering. And Damien's like looking like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Now I was like, damn, he was about to go home soon. But it turned out in the end. Now, you would think, wow, Damien, you go home soon. Well, for one, we found out that this dude raped his sister. 2, we also found out that Damien was dying of some type of disease, cancer or something like that. And this is when the feds came down hard. And the officer who allegedly helped with this hit on the rapist killed himself. Damien didn't want to be a burden to his family. He ended up dying in prison. He just said, fuck it. I'm going to take the dude that raped my sister out. I got the help from the officers. I'll milk the medical here. I'm not going to be a burden on my family. And this dude had been in prison his whole life for murders and armed robberies. And he said, at least, I'll do something good with my life and make this motherfucker suffer and let everybody see it. Supposedly, that's what he said. I never saw a video. Ultimately, Damien would end up dying 6 or 7 months later. He never even got convicted. Leave our women and children alone. Stay out, stay free, us.